everyone. Welcome to the Conscious Spirit Podcast.
Hello, everybody.
Yay, Carissa's back, everyone. We really don't know what we're talking about today. How long have we been sitting on here talking?
I don't even know.
Over an hour?
Yeah, probably.
Probably. And then we're like, oh, wait, we got together today to do a podcast. Hold on. So we're really not exactly sure. I wrote a couple things down, though, when we were talking. All right, so let's open space. I know everyone likes that, and we need it too. So as Mary Lynn would say, if you are driving a car, just turn the volume down, or if you're holding a sharp knife, put the knife down. If you can join in on this, then do. Otherwise, just kind of let yourself get through it. All right. We open this beautiful sacred space in love, in friendship. We are so honored to be here, and we are honored and grateful for all the opportunities to share with one another. We ask that everyone receive what they need today from this podcast, whether we say it or not. We ask that, or we set the intention that you receive what you need from Spirit in the way you need to hear it. We thank all of our guides, all of our spiritual allies for being here. As we ground, I guess I didn't get us grounded. As we ground into the earth, we stay connected to Spirit, and we sit in gratitude. And so it is.
So it is.
Oh, yes. One of the things that we were actually talking about is holding on to programming, holding on to
our stuff,
our crap.
Yeah, our crap. Yeah,
it's not for our highest good. We know we shouldn't be doing it, or at the moment we're, it's like when you're doing something and at the same time you're going, why am I doing this? This doesn't feel right. I shouldn't be doing this, but you keep doing it anyway.
Yep. It's also known as spiraling, right? Like when we spiral,
Yes. Yeah. And why do we
just
do that crap? Why?
Well, I can speak for myself because I just had a healing from Pam last week, and I will admit that I was running from that healing. I was like, oh, I need to do this and I want to, but do I want to deal with it? No. And so finally got the healing, and it did kick my ass spiritually, and I did feel great afterwards. And because you always get that spirit drunk is how we like to. Yep. And it's just, you feel all the love from Spirit. You just feel so supported even at your lowest moments. So that's why I love the healings as well, to get that peace, and obviously the clarity. But
then
then you're hit with the stuff, and it can appear, it can come in different ways. So there's times when I've been like on that spirit high for a couple of days, and then it's like, you're punched in the face, and like now I'm sad and dealing with it. Sometimes I'll get angry, and my patience is very non-existent. This time around, I was feeling good for a couple of days, but physically my body was in pain because I store a lot of my stuff in my body. My body just holds on to it, and I get the aches and the pains and the gritting when I get out of the bed.
I have to tell on you. I get this text from Karissa, and she said she and her son were in the I think it was a grocery store.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, my back hurts. I don't get, what the hell? And you're thinking about, did I sleep wrong? Did something happen? And all of a sudden I went, oh, never mind. I got a healing.
Yep. It's the healing. Yep, exactly. We were at Spirit Halloween. So I was with both of my kids. And my youngest, we walked around the store like 72 times.
Oh, yes.
And I'm trying to like let him be in his, favorite place, and just getting into the fall vibes. Oh yeah, it's his happy place for sure.
Yeah.
But in my head, I was like, enough is enough, kid. Can we? It's all the same stuff, and I'm in pain here physically. And so I'm telling my older self, like, oh my gosh, my back really hurts. Like, I feel like I'm like almost like, like the labor pains. So I'm like, that's what it was reminding me of.
Yeah.
Like really deep in there. And so I text Pam. It was Friday night, right? I think it was like a Friday night.
I think so.
And I was just like, I just have to let you know that
yeah.
this funny story. Yeah. Because I mean, Pam likes to kick my ass. That's not the first time.
No. Oh, so yeah. So, well, I have a couple things to say. One is part of a good healing is when our physical body, when our deva because our body holds all those memories and tries to keep us in those same routines and the same stuff. And one of the things that's so great about you, and I think I do this too, and who, the people, kind of most people that come to TCS, is that you're ready to let go. And so then you do. And it goes. But Karissa is the standard for me, is the bar in which I try to hold everyone up to. The first healing she got from me was talk about kicked your ass. I've never had. Mary Lynn has come close. Like Mary Lynn's had some ass kickings, but yours, you were ready. You were just ready. You came, you got a hold of me. I think you found us through our videos on YouTube.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And you were just ready. You were just so ready. And boy, there was no holding back. Even I remember, because I remember, and I still remember thinking, wow, do we keep going? And Fred's like, yep. And I'm like, okay, this feels really, because I'm not doing anything, but I mean, but I could, the way I read the internet, it all comes through me and I can feel it. And I'm like, holy shit, is she going to be okay? No.
Yeah.
I mean, eventually, yes. But
eventually I was great. But yeah, it took a good 4 months. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I was sick for about 4 months. And at first, I remember you were like, after the healing was done, I felt great. All right. I was on that spirit high again. I was like, this is so beautiful and magical. Like it was awesome. And I remember you saying, all right, so I'd recommend just like sitting down, don't do anything for the rest of the day. And I was like, okay. But little did she know, I had errands to run afterwards. I needed to go to the grocery store and whatever else errands I needed to run. And I remember as I'm walking through the grocery store, my knees are buckling. I felt like, am I a new deer? Like, was I just born? And so I was like, oh my, and then my oldest son is with me. He's like, Mom, what is happening? You're scaring me. And I'm like, I'm fine. And I'm laughing about it. I was like, I don't know why my knees are buckling. And Pam checked on me. And I was like, is it normal to, I mentioned like my knees are buckling, not really like, it's hard to explain, but basically it felt like I was coming in and out of this dimension and a different dimension or something. It was really weird, the energy.
Yes.
The energy shifts. And then you gave me the answers, and then next thing you know, I was sick. I had flu-like symptoms for about 4 months.
Yes. And you even went to the doctor and they're like, you don't have the flu, you're okay.
Yeah.
Like you have nothing, we don't see any, there's no infection here, there's no anything.
Yeah. And so I was like, what is happening? So I'm Googling, and I was like, it was still really early on. So I didn't want to act like a big baby to you guys and act like you did something wrong, because obviously you did it. I didn't know. Yeah. And so I was like, when you would check on me, I was like, well, if I'm being honest, I do feel a little sick, but it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, it's okay. My nose.
Yeah.
Like I'm blowing my nose a lot, or what, my sinuses.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then finally I was like, I actually feel terrible. I have been sick nonstop. And when I go to the doctor, everything's fine. Medicine's not helping. So then I started Googling things as well, just because that's what I like to do. And it's called, what is it, like spirit sick or something like that? Like after you get a healing, this is normal your body is releasing all of this stored up,
all those toxins of
stuff.
All kinds. Yeah. Emotional toxins, but I mean, like everything.
Everything. And so as painful as I felt, or as much pain I was in, I just remember sitting on my couch, like, so happy and ecstatic. I was like, wow, this is
Yes.
actually amazing. Like, what a gift. Kind of like, when you're in labor and you're in pain, but you know that you're going to have like
This
something
beautiful baby.
beautiful.
There's a gift at the
Like,
end.
you're in pain for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's how I felt. And, yeah, I'll just never forget it.
No,
I just was
no,
asking Pam, like, have you ever had anybody yet that got their ass
no,
beat? Like, I,
no, no, no
yeah,
one that's gone that deep. And that is unusual, everyone. So if you were just thinking, I should call Pam for healing, and you're listening to this and going, no, I don't think I'm going to.
right. Yeah. No.
That's just real. That's she's atypical. Is that
I
it?
don't
Or
know.
not typical, whatever that is.
Yeah.
Yes. Now there can be emotions for that long, but that physical piece, you had just held on for so long, and
Yeah.
your body was just like holding on for dear life, and you just let the floodgates open and you let go.
Yeah.
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 That was
For
beautiful.
sure.
And this last one was not to that. I don't think you ever really get that first one ever again, thank God.
Yeah.
But this last one was a good one too. You just show up ready.
Yeah. I really
Right?
want to.
Yes. And I
Yeah.
think everyone at TCS anyway, and many of my clients, they just show it like, okay, I know this is for my highest good.
Hmm.
I'm just gonna let go. And
Yeah.
but there are those things that we don't let go of. We're too afraid to let go of.
Hmm.
And because they're comfortable
Yep.
in its raw sort of icky
Yeah.
wounded form, and it's just not good for us, but it's what we know, it's what's always worked for us. It's what One of the
Yep.
things I can think of is in my family, shaming. My mother was such a shamer. Oh, her mother was, and I mean, you could just see it just came down through generations, and the looks of shame and everything. And I remember thinking that I was never going to do that to my kids, but I did. I still will hold on today because of her. It's like, okay, it wasn't as bad, right?
Yeah.
Like that makes a difference. I still did it. But I
Right. Right.
remember even when I was coming to the realization that I was actually doing what I said that I would never do to my children,
Yeah.
I remember in the moment shaming them, and in my head thinking, Pam, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Stop this. And I couldn't I didn't know how to quite stop that. I didn't know what to do. And it was still a while before I was able to admit that and look, because it was embarrassing too.
Yeah.
So embarrassing that
That level of guilt that you feel.
yes. Oh,
Yeah.
oh, and talk about shaming. I shamed myself.
Yeah.
And then I was able to finally, okay, I need to admit it. And I know I've talked about this on the channel too, but calling both of my sons and apologizing to them and totally
Yeah.
just owning my shit. I am so sorry. I shamed you all the time. And
Yeah.
it was wrong, and it was horrible, and it was wounding. And even now it's like I just want to hide as I'm talking,
Yeah. No. Yeah.
you
I,
know,
yeah,
but we hold
I've
on to it.
definitely been there as well. Yeah. And there's no right or there's no rule book to
No.
being a parent. And
Done.
oftentimes I was, me myself, I'm always like, I'm not turning into my parents, my mom or my dad. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And then I'll notice things. I was like, oh God, damn it.
Damn it.
There I go. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, how does that even happen? Because, when you're
Yes.
younger, you're like, I'll never be.
Yes.
And it's crazy how that works. And I know for one, as far as the stuff that we hold into, like for me, it almost is like it feels like it's home. When you hold
Yes.
on to that stuff, like holding on to the things that don't serve us. We don't want it, but it feels like home. Like I know, like I know the way to get back home. You know, um, I don't need to throw my little crackers and make sure I'm on the right path to get back home. No,
Right,
I know
right,
where
right.
home is. I can easily get there with my eyes closed. You know what I mean? So yeah, we hold on to it, and it feels comfortable to us, and
I mean,
it's a
there's
bad
some
discomfort.
benefit from
Yeah,
it. There's some,
yeah,
whether it's just, oh, this makes me feel comforted in some bizarre way, or
Yeah.
we get the reaction from whoever,
It's something.
or
Yeah.
there's definitely a payoff somewhere in
Yeah.
this, and sometimes the
And
payoff
it,
gross as the wounding.
yeah, I was gonna say, I don't even know if it's really ever a positive payoff. The payoff is just the
Right?
recognition, you know what I mean? Of that's who we think we are and what we think it, and it's not. It's the wounding that blinds us. And so, when I had a healing last week from Pam, I usually have dreams that kind of help me
You're lucky.
see
Yes, you do. That's
see
how it
what.
comes for you. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yes, and I do love that piece. So it allows me to see what happened, what's going on, how I played a part in it, and with the dream that I had, for example, I'll just share a little piece here that I live by the lake here in Wisconsin, and so it's a nice peaceful place to go and get away. Is going to the beach and just watching. I don't go, listen. I'm scared of water, so I don't get near it. I enjoy it from afar.
Yes.
But I remember in this dream, I was just like doing my thing where I like watching the water, and there's this yacht that appeared, and this yacht capsized due to crazy waves. And with it, after it capsized, there was a whirlpool, and then you're seeing a yacht spinning like crazy. And in my dream, I'm just like, oh my God, I hope there's nobody in there. Like, this is so sad that I'm witnessing this. And I'm like, of course there's somebody in there. There's not an abandoned yacht just on the lake.
Just
And so
floating
then,
out there. Yes.
right, just floating on that, I would hope, but that's not happening. So then this guy came out of nowhere and sat next to me, and he just had a look on his face of like fear and sadness, overwhelming sadness. And I was like, sir, are you okay? What's going on? Do you see that out there? And he's like, yeah, that I just swam from that yacht, and I tried to save my buddy in there, but I couldn't. And, he was very saddened about it. And, I began to get up, give him a hug, and, console him. Like, I'm so sorry, and then next thing you know, a cop comes busting out, and he's like, ma'am, back away from the guy, back away. And I'm just like, okay, gladly. Oh, sure, yeah. And so then he arrests the man, and he's like, you're under arrest for the murder of whomever is inside of that yacht. And so then I became disgusted. I was like, oh God, I just had empathy for a murderer, and I'm over here hugging him. Yuck. Like, and then like in my dream, I was able to see what the murderer, how he like end of life the person in the yacht.
Yeah.
And I just remember just so disgusted and shocked that I even touched someone of that nature.
Yes.
And so then I wake up from my dream, and then I'm like, I wonder what this means. I know it has to do with the healing I just had the day before. And so I, in talking with Pam and Marilyn, and then some research I did myself.
Mostly with Marilyn at
yeah,
first. Yeah.
Yes. Came to the conclusion that the yacht represented, and the person inside the yacht represented one piece of me. Mm-hmm. I also represented the murderer. Mm-hmm. And then I was the third person who still was able to witness what was going on, being the empathetic person towards the murderer. And basically, the murderer was trying to hold on to the piece that I had just got a healing with Pam and Spirit's help, trying to hold on to that, because that's what I recognize, that, in my wounded state of mind,
yes,
I did not want to let go of that piece. I did not want to let go of the yucky stuff that I was holding on to. And Spirit, funny enough, Spirit came in as a police officer, like, back away, ma'am.
You are not taking this back.
You are
again.
not, back away. And then, Spirit,
and you're not going to feel bad about it.
Yeah, you're not going to feel bad about it. You're going to actually feel disgusted about it, which I did. And so when we came to this conclusion, I was just like, wow, this is why I love this stuff. It's so amazing. And there I was. I would have easily gone back into looking for the piece that I just wanted healed so badly, because it feels like home. It's something that I recognize, that state of mind. But, I really don't want it. And it's something that I am truly ready to get over and heal. And having spirit there to help guide you, through your healing journey it's just such a beautiful thing. And
So amazing.
it's so amazing. And yeah, it was just a funny story how it all happened in that way. But yeah.
Well, if I remember, you had said, so you were telling me that because you and Mary Lynn had got together at some point, and you were telling her all about it, and you were still figuring it out. You still kind of have to go through that. And she was just looking at you like, you don't get that.
Yeah. I was like, I have a feeling that I do represent the yacht. But the part that I missed was the part that I was the murderer. I missed that part. Yeah. So she put it, she was able to beautifully paint the picture, and it just resonated. And I was just like, wow, that's it. Yeah. That's what it was. And and
I'm so glad, because we can actually bring that stuff back. We can actually choose to not thoroughly let go and let it go. We can stay trying to, and I've experienced that myself, where I'd be like, God, like I'm trying to go spin out about this. I'm trying to do that. And I can feel myself like, you don't need to anymore. It's not there. But I'm literally trying to make myself go back to that.
Yeah.
Like, stop already. And then it makes me think, well, how many times have I actually gone back? And I didn't realize I did. I'm sure there's some times, because it's not a one and done. There's always layers to everything. And
and it's not something that happens on purpose. It's not what it just happens sometimes. And
you really have
but when you
be aware and be aware. Yeah.
And don't be embarrassed if you do.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, do not be embarrassed if you do. That wasn't the first time I've had a healing surrounding what I went to you last week for a healing for. Yeah. But this time I got it. I understood, and I wanted it.
I think that's fully. The piece, don't you think? Is understand, like really getting that clarity or that visibility, whatever, on it, and going,
allowing yourself to be open enough.
Yes. And accepting the responsibility of it. Yeah. Because I know sometimes that's for me, it's like, I don't want to take responsibility that I was the pusher in that, or I was the one that was actually doing that. I'm not ready to own my shit yet. Yeah. So
we're still in our victim stage.
Yeah. I call myself really well. I can be a victim. Oh man, I'm a good victim.
But then like I'm a double Capricorn, so Sun, Moon, Capricorn. So then I'm like, I'm not a victim. I'm actually strong. Right. I'm really like, no, I'm at home. Like, oh my God. It's like,
yes,
we're fools. It's funny though when you can go back and think about it.
And I just overthink the shit out of it. Like, well, could have done this or that. Like I try to what is that called? Like rationalize it. I'm really good at rationalizing. I'm so good at that. Yes. And how I can still be the victim, rationalize it so I'm still the victim, or I did do the right thing, right? Right. No, you didn't. I know. Didn't. But somehow I get that in my head to make me feel
we have to console ourselves, and that's the way that we do it, in that type of way. And it's okay to go through the processes. It's okay to, I think we have to go through all the processes of all of the emotions, I should say. And that's part of healing as well. Is it's a natural way to it. So, you have your anger stage, you have the sad stage, you have the shock stage, you have all the different stages of things that you go through. And I think it's necessary to allow yourself to feel those different emotions, because when you look back, you're able to get a full view. Yes. You're not skipping. You're not trying to what is it? You have to crawl before you walk. So you're not just trying to go from like a 8-month-old and then now I'm running.
Although I would love that sometimes.
Right. Exactly.
I want to skip all those in between steps, but you can't.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And at the same time, it doesn't necessarily mean like it's going to be some long, arduous journey taking all of those steps. It really doesn't. It doesn't
and it's almost
have to be.
Yeah, and I feel like it almost doesn't
Right. It's
turn out to be that way, because you're allowing yourself to evolve and grow and learn and heal and let go, and spirit is right there with you, and you can feel spirit, like, so.
But we try to skip over, we're not doing ourselves a service at all.
Yeah.
Just not. We're not. And it could take longer. It hurts more. You don't get it. Take the steps. Take the steps.
We are here, in my belief system, is that we are here to learn. This is the learning planet.
Absolutely.
Learn, evolve, grow. I don't know a single person who, it could be someone who struggled and they did not come from wealth. And I know people who came from wealth. We all have the same issues.
Money has no.
Exactly. It absolutely does not. I know people who have thought that they had great lives, and then, as they're going through their journey, they're able to look back on things like, oh, wow, I didn't realize I actually was wounded in some of these different ways. And the beauty is allowing ourselves to heal, to learn, grow, look back, observe, accept, understand, all those big words that really, truly are here for us to, I'll just say it this way. I don't want to come back and have to deal with the same shit.
Oh, dude.
Next time. I really just don't.
I know.
I'm kind of over the narcissist, I think that next time, can we not?
Yeah. Can we not?
Don't want to have to deal with that again. I don't want to.
Back to what you're like, economically, no matter what race you come in at, no matter what religion you come in, no matter whatever it is, spiritually, we all have the exact same opportunities. Yeah.
We have the same struggles. We have, some might be a little different than others, but like the feeling that we feel is the same emotion. Yeah. Sadness is always sadness. Yes. Feeling unworthy is always going to be feeling unworthy. Scared is always going to be scared. We have different things that play a part of our
and they all look different for everyone.
Yeah, exactly. But like those emotions are the same. And I like to view it as that is how, like, we're all a spirit. Like, at the end, our race, our gender, none of that matters, because we're a spirit. Yes. The emotions are what are real. You know what I mean? The emotions, the feelings are all the same.
All the same. And we all came in, we chose what we chose to help us personally evolve through. Yeah. So we've chosen the exact life you have right now, everything in it, you chose. I don't know why I chose this, but I did. But it's true.
I say that all the time.
Right? And so it's really finding your worth, finding that love, following spirit. And spirit is within us too. It's not certainly the way we see it. It's not is spirit out, God, if you want to say that use that verbiage, God, the universe, spirit, whatever, is outside of us. Yes, but it's inside of us too. We all are connected and a part of it. And we all really, it is, I know that Marilyn and I always say this isn't a solo journey, but it really is. But at the same time, we need that connection. Yeah. To really heal and get through it. You can't do it all we're not meant to do it all on our own. Yeah. But we're all here. That's one of the things, even, whether it's racism, and that takes so many different forms. I mean, you can hate someone because of their that you see that a lot in our world right now. The different religions are hating each other, whatever. And really, we're hating ourselves. Because we're all connected. We're all part of the same big spiritual loving beauty. And so it just makes no sense to just hate people, to hate each other for whatever reason. Like, I don't know all the different ways of hating someone, but you can't, you see it all the time. And it's like, we're all in this together. We're all trying to, when we give in to that fear, is when that's where hate.
I mean, because it's all fear based. It all is definitely fear based for sure.
Yeah. My new saying now, because sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Mary Lynn I got a nice healing yesterday, and I am not good at letting someone help me heal or give me a healing. I'm really, really bad at it. But I finally decided, okay, I'll let you do this. And I did. But it was what part of the verbiage that came out of it was starve the fear. So feed the love and starve the fear.
Yeah.
I get so fearful in different ways. Like there are different ways. I know I've talked about it, but my childhood, I was physically in fear a lot, like of my physical being. And I have still carried that into my adulthood. And then just fear of stepping out and doing something. Not in all cases, obviously, but I get wrapped up in that fear and then I don't move. I sort of become immobilized. I just can't move. And
me too.
So the whole thing yesterday was you have to starve the fear. That's what spirit brought to me, because that's what makes sense to me. Other people for theirs would get something else, but that was and I'm like, okay, I have to starve that out. I can't. Because I'm so good about just reaching in and grabbing it again, because it's comfortable, just like what we were talking before. It's so comfortable for me to rationalize and think, well, I can't do that because of this and because of that and it's all just fear. It's all just fear. Like, it's bullshit. Stop it. Starve it out. Don't let it take a hold. And I do. And I absolutely do. Fear is a liar.
And it's so easy to give everybody else advice.
Oh, I am so good at it.
I have the answers for everybody, Yeah, come to me. You need something, come to me. No, but like for myself,
not so much. Yeah.
No. So blind. And I have spurts, where I know that I want to heal something, but and I'll go and ask for healings. But then I have those other times when it's the real stuff. It's the real comforting home, whatever you want to call it, type of things that the wounds. And those are the ones that seem so scary. But I will say that for any of you who aren't sure if you're ready for, a healing like this, that pay attention, because there's always signs. It always, there's always signs from spirit, from yourself, from your higher self, when it's time to heal something in your life. There's, I can say, like for me, I'll just give a quick example here. My last healing, I won't really get into what was the healing, but I can say that I had common themes around what needed to be healed. And then I would go into the thinking, I'm overthinking everything. And then I get on my own nerve. I literally piss myself off. I'm just like, oh God, like somebody beat my ass right now because I need an ass whooping. You know what I mean?
That's a great way to know, oh shit, I have something to heal. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're on your own nerve when you can't even.
Like, you're so irritable, but it's like the same type of theme that pops up. It's something that is on your mind that pops up, and it really isn't leaving your mind. And, I want to say that that's a good sign that your soul and your higher self is ready to heal that, and take it as a gift. It doesn't feel like that at that moment, because it's like you're sad or you're upset, whatever emotion you're feeling, but that really is a gift of, all right, you're ready. You're ready to look at this. You're ready to heal this.
Yes.
And I know that a lot of times, I know people right now in my life who run away from it. And as much as I want to be like, could you just sit your ass down so that we can do this? I can't.
Not
I can't
your
do
business
that.
To do it.
It's exactly not my business, not my journey.
Nope.
And that's one of the hardest parts about this. Because again, I want to help everybody. I got the answer for everybody, but again, you don't do that, you know? So, I would just take that into consideration. If there's something that you're going through right now, or something that just keeps popping in and it's on your mind, or, something that you've been trying to work through on your own, I would say that it's a good chance that you're ready to at least look at it and talk about it.
If you're not ready to go to someone for a healing, I get that. Or you want to be a little more clear on it, or you can still feel that fear coming up, or there's doubt that someone can actually help, whatever. You can certainly do Fred's meds. You can do other types of meditations with the intention to get clarity. Not just going in, I'm going to sit and I'm going to do this meditation, and just really set that intention. I would really like more clarity on what's coming up for me.
Yeah.
What is it right now that I need to hit? Because Spirit always knows what's next what's on the agenda for you to heal now. Spirit knows that. Spirit absolutely knows that.
Yeah. And don't pay attention to the titles, because those couldn't.
That's for sure.
You're going to get what you need to get.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. I would definitely have a notebook and pen and jot some stuff down, because sometimes, I know for me, like sometimes when I come out of it, I can't even, it's hard to fully remember everything, and things come here and there. And then like at a different moment, it might come, the clarity might come. And then I have to like piece it all back together. But I like to do that because I can always have something to go back to and think about. And, that's helpful as well. I actually just sent my son, I was like, here, because he's going through stuff right now as well, and he doesn't want me, his mother,
God, no.
Give him a healing.
No.
It's probably got a lot to do with me too. You know what I mean? Like,
I would not recommend it, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. Talk about spiraling,
Yeah, I don't give my kids healing. So,
Yeah. And so,
I don't want to hear.
Yep, exactly. So I was like, here, try this route at least. And I gave him like the channel, like just go through they're called Fred meds. There's a bunch. Just pick one. Like, don't even do it any mode. Just pick, whatever. And so, not sure if he's done that or not, but the option is there, and that's all I can do. I did my part. Can't really do anything else.
And you walk away from there. Yeah. You cannot make someone heal.
Yeah.
You can't make them understand something. You just can't. It's none of your business. You don't want to take, and you're trying to put yourself into a situation that really you have no control over. And I mean, and of course, especially when you are a parent, we want to fix it for our children. I mean, that's just, no matter how old our kids get, that's what we want, and we can't. We just can't. We can help. We can support them like that. Say, okay, this tool worked for me, or this worked, and then you got to just back off. So that's a good mom. Yeah. Because what are you gonna? Yeah, and the titles of Fred's meds really don't. And again, I know I've talked about it before, but Fred does that on purpose, so we don't go in with an expectation of, like, you're not going to put on. He's never going to put on there, meet your guide, because you're going to go into it just assuming that you have that expectation, and it can screw the whole thing up. So he just doesn't. He do it that way.
And Fred is a wise one, and
he is. Damn it!
Like, that's the best way to do it.
Don't like to admit that to him.
Yeah, we know you like to argue with him.
Yes, but yeah, man, healing is no joke, but it's so worth it. Oh, it is, and you're never done. We're never going to be whatever it is that we hope to, that perfect, if there is such thing as perfect. In spirit, maybe we are. We're still evolving in spirit though too. But we're not going to get there in this human form. Just not. I just think it's funny. I'm not going to say who it is. Everyone knows who this woman is, but I just don't feel. Anyway, she's a very popular person known around the world, whatever. And I read something that said she's ascended and she's like at some bigger, and I just burst out laughing. It's like,
Oh,
bullshit. No, she's
wow.
not. No, she's not.
Hmm.
Stop it, everyone. Just stop it. Stop
Yeah.
thinking that you are, and I don't know if she actually, but if you listen to her, you kind of think, oh yeah, she thinks she's all
Oh
that.
gosh.
But
Well, I always get like cultish vibes when that happens.
yes,
Like I
yes.
immediately get scared away. Like
And
I'm
you
gonna go that way.
wonder,
Yeah.
and with this person, you wonder because she's hiding something. There's a whole nother thing going on, a different life that we've got glimpses of, but we don't see it. But this persona that she has out there, that she's this wonderfully compassionate, and both those things can exist at the same time. You can be an absolute psychopath over here and be a loving, compassionate person
Yeah.
over here. Like
Yeah.
you can,
Exactly.
but
Yeah.
no, she's
Yeah.
with like some ascended master type thing, and just shut
That's
up.
weird. That's
I know
strange.
it is. It's just
Hmm.
no. But anyway, we're all trying to ascend and grow
And
and evolve, but
yeah.
we have to heal. We have to heal. And oh, there was something you had said something earlier, and I was going to say, and we're not psychic about ourselves. When
Hmm.
people think because we're psychic,
Yeah.
you were talking about how you can, all of us, we can give advice to everyone. We have advice for
Mhm.
everyone. I can tell you how to live your life, to be
Oh
happy,
yeah.
everything, but ourselves, it like doesn't happen. We're not
No.
psychic about ourselves at all.
Mm-mm. Nope. Not at all.
We
Not at
can't
all.
be. We can't be. We have to go through all
Yeah.
the things that a human being is supposed to go through.
Yep.
Making
Exactly.
what we might consider wrong decisions or whatever, or falling on
Yeah.
our face, or
I
having.
mean, we have intuition.
Mhm.
Like if I'm
Yeah.
going to go, walk at nighttime by myself in an unknown
Yeah.
city, um, my intuition is probably going to tell me probably not a good idea to do that. If you want to go on a walk, let's wait until there's sun and people out.
Right.
That's different.
Yes.
Or you meet somebody. Let's say somebody wants to go on a blind date that they met somebody on some social media site or whatnot, and the man or the woman might have an intuition like something doesn't feel right. I think I should probably not go. Okay, that's different. We're not talking about that. We're talking
Right.
about actual
Yes. Yes.
cannot pick up on the energy surrounding ourself, and like
Right.
we have to go through it.
We do.
You
We do.
know,
We have to make dumb choices. What we feel.
yeah,
Everything's a lesson, so it's really not dumb. But we have to do
yeah,
all that. We have to choose the wrong person. We have to
yeah,
get ourselves into situations where we have to get
yeah,
ourselves out of in a however we need to do that.
yeah,
It just is. We're not psychic about ourselves
yeah.
whatsoever. But yes, intuitive, and there is a difference.
Yes, that exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And I probably wouldn't want to be psychic about myself because talk about an ego. Talk about not
Oh
being
man.
able to actually truly heal because
Yeah.
like you're not even allowing yourself to go through things and
Oh my
to
God, could you
feel.
imagine? You wake up in the morning and go, okay, what should I do first? Like to be
Yeah,
to be psychic about yourself, like
yeah,
there's no way. There's no way. There'd be no reason for you to be here. And for
yeah, exactly.
or people, I know you get this too, because people
Hmm.
think because I'm psychic, I know everything about them. It's like, oh dear God, no.
Yeah,
Nor do I
yeah,
want to know all about it.
right.
I can't walk into a room and know absolutely everything about everyone. It
Yeah,
just doesn't work that way.
right.
It's
Like
just
sure,
unbelievable.
people can pick up on energies, of course,
Yep.
but um I think for all of us here at TCS, we know not to do that. We know not to
Yes.
go digging.
Yep.
That
Nope.
was something I had to learn because I didn't even know I was digging in the
Yeah.
beginning.
Yeah. There are ethics. There are
Yes,
psychic
exactly.
ethics. Mhm.
Yes, and not saying that everybody operates in that way because they certainly do not.
Right.
However, here we do, and we do know the ethics, and we operate as such. So,
Yes.
yeah, I might pick up on some vibes if I walk in a room, and I might just turn back around, or I might ignore it. It depends where it's at, and
Yeah.
but we're not digging into, trying to feel people out, those kind of things. And so I think that's important to note as well. But
Oh I can't even imagine how I mean, it feels exhausting even thinking about it. Like reading everyone all of the time. Even if you could, first of all, you can't. And if someone doesn't want to be read, they're not going to be read.
Yeah.
You
I actually,
I mean, oh.
I know some people in my life who they're psychic and they're very open all the time to a fault. And that is when you are on emotional roller coasters, probably all the time. And I don't need anybody prying about anything in my life.
Right.
And so, it's not your business. Don't really appreciate when someone's like, I can feel something's off. Not your business.
Right.
And so, it's just another indicator to mind your own business and work on yourself, and don't get into you can be that friend or that family member who's an ear for people, of course. But don't try to solve their problems for them. It doesn't typically work out best.
And it's okay if we get together and something feels off.
Yeah.
How are you? Is there anything you want to talk about? No, I'm okay. All right. Then I have to stop. Like you just can't.
Yeah.
Sometimes kind of depending on it, because we're as close as we are, and because I can say, okay, well, I'll let you lie to me right now. But
exactly.
Go ahead and talk about other stuff until you're ready.
And sometimes people are just in Delulu land. Like, sometimes you don't even know that there's something wrong because you're like, oh yeah, everything's fine.
I know.
Like your head's on the cloud, not even in my body. You know what I mean? So it's like, there are some of those cases, but
when you were talking a minute ago about some people are just open all the time and they're always feeling everything, what I want to say to those people is, what are you running from? You are so busy trying to see what's going on with me and going on with everyone else here. What are you running from? Because there's something you don't want to look at for yourself.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
And or those might be the people who like love to play the victim as well.
Oh yeah.
And sometimes I feel like sometimes people like to gain empathy, and that's how they build relationships with people, is based on and that's just so it's not really great, because eventually one person is going to have enough.
Yes.
And they're gonna either not want to even deal with you at all because they're like, listen, you can stay here, but I'm going there. Or you just have two people who are just like loving each other to the point to where it's not even love. It is a trauma bond, and it is so unhealthy. And I mean, because I've been there. I'm speaking on this because I've been there.
Absolutely. As have I.
I have done all of these things,
Yes. As we know, I did, I've been married for 30 years. So, I mean, we had our own shit, believe me. And we had our own stuff to work out and wounding and all that. But the trauma bonding really came in with friends who were
friendships. Female friendships.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So, the trauma bonding. I'm so embarrassed. Yes, I could feel it coming in. It's like, oh my god.
It's like, oh, go away. I've dealt with that.
I don't want to think about that.
No, I know. No.
I just so I know this. I don't know them real well, but this woman is she's I think she just got married this month, and she's your age. She and her, anyway, it is such a talk about trauma bond, codependent, this grossness, and what can you have to act like you're happy. I mean, there's you can't go, oh, I think that's, I mean, stop it, Pam. Like, I can't do that. You can, this is not a good relationship. First of all, we're not that close. I don't know her that well at all. Like if you were to come to me and say, hey, I wanted to, and you asked my opinion, I would give you my honest opinion.
And
I will still
I have done
support
that.
you with whatever you want, because that's your life.
Exactly.
But you can't go around just like telling.
No.
But yeah, that trauma bond. Ooh, that's ugly.
It is, and it can last a while.
Yeah.
Trust me, I know.
Yeah.
I know all too well. And
unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately. But yeah, I think one of the hardest things is when you have friends and family members, just your loved ones, and um you so badly just want them to
Yes.
heal certain things because you know their potential, you know how happy they could be, but you really you just have to allow the people to live it.
Yep.
And support them as best as you can from afar, because you don't, and what I mean by afar is having the boundary to not be crossing the line of intruding on their journey, because that's what it is.
Yeah.
It's their journey, and
and who the
you
heck
are
am
not
I
to
to get
intrude.
to your journey?
Yeah,
Especially
exactly.
if you haven't asked me. Like, what is that?
Exactly. And I know many of us love to be the fixers, and it all comes from a good place a lot of times, but okay. It comes from the best intentions at some
There you
point, but
go.
I think at another point it becomes it's what we want
Yes.
for them. And that's when you cross the line of it not being a best intention.
Yes.
Because you can be there from somebody and support them. And that's probably, the piece where you're doing all that you can for them. But when it gets to, and I've experienced this as well, when it gets to the point where people are like shaming you for decisions you're making, and you're trying to fix it. Well, do this and do that. Like, now you're interrupting someone's mind that's already in a really bad place, a bad state, and confusing them and making them feel even worse. Probably how they already feel is the lowest of the low, but now you're adding to that. And it's just it's a selfish thing to do, believe it or not, even though you believe you're coming from a place of good intention.
And then if you are like me, and I'm much better now than I used to be, but I was such a people pleaser. I would go with what you think I should do because I wanted to please you in this and then I always ended up in this terrible place and not friends with that person anyway. Like it's just because I did as a people pleaser. I would want to please that person. So that person was telling me how to do it. And it was like, oh, okay, well, oh gosh, and she's so smart and she's whatever, and I really don't know. So I'd go along with it, and it always ended up to be shit. Like it wasn't the best thing for me at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you can't go through life taking cues from everyone else. This is your life.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
And there's no,
and then
you can ask all your friends, get all the, I mean, if you want to ask everyone I used to do that. I know with parenting, I would ask every mom like a particular thing. And then I kind of decide on my own what I thought was best.
Yeah.
In that situation, I think I did it really well, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And yeah, I think that it's a very there's no perfect way to live this thing called life, and we got to go through things, all of us, and we all do. We all certainly do. And that's why, I'm a millennial, and so as a child I did not grow up with the internet. However, when we got it, it was the coolest thing, right? But then at some point I became to like hate it because of the separation that it seemed like was happening with things becoming like the one-on-one, or like okay, so like what I mean is the connections that we have with, if I'm with a group of friends, like now everybody's probably on their phone compared to like back in the day.
Yes, you actually had to talk.
Interacting. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So all that to say is I have a love-hate relationship with the internet, because for me, with the things that I've gone through, I love the internet because I've been able to research and learn about some of those things that I've dealt with, and as well as how to get out of some of those things that I've dealt with. as well as finding other people who've been through the same things. And so you don't feel so lonely, because when you're in that state of mind, and you're struggling or going through something, I mean, it's extremely lonely already, right? And then you think you're dumb because you're the only one in the world going through something or going through this thing. But it's nice because the internet is showing you other people who have discussed some of the things that they've gone through. So it's a little bit of being able to not feel so alone. You're relating, but at the same time, the part that I hate is the part where you lose a personable type of interaction.
Well, and then there's also that piece of that people only show their highlight reel.
Oh gosh, yeah.
So then you could feel worse about yourself.
Yep.
Because everyone else seems to be doing so great.
Exactly.
And I'm not. And somehow in those situations you believe all those people when normally you wouldn't. Yeah.
And I've definitely been through that. I've definitely been through that. I actually had to get rid of Facebook years ago when I was like going through some stuff.
Yeah.
Because it made me feel terrible. And I actually became like obsessed with finding stuff out through Facebook.
Yeah.
And that's
yes. Bad news.
Don't do that.
The first time our oldest son went out of country, that's when I got Facebook, because that was through Messenger is how that was the only way kind of at the time that you could talk. And then he came back and there were other ways to do it. And I just got rid. It's like I don't. I still use Messenger. Like there's a couple people that I still talk to, like Nan. I talk to her through Messenger usually. I think she's actually the only one. There might be one more, but it's a cesspool. It's just awful. Yes, and you don't know what's real. You don't know what isn't. I'll tell you, you know who your friends are though when something really goes bad. And sure, you might get some people like giving their condolences or whatever over Facebook, but no one's showing up to your door with a casserole or a cake or something.
Right.
Saying, I'm so sorry this happened to you. I just wanted to come and share myself with you, my life, my whatever, eat together or something. That doesn't, you could have thousands on there and they're not real friends.
You're gonna see mostly hate, at least on my in the back. When I had Facebook, it was mostly hate, and it just felt so yucky to me. I just really couldn't do that anymore. It just was triggering my already multiple wounds that I needed to deal with. And so for me, I knew I needed to get rid of that. But I mean, there's other sites that are nice, like YouTube. You can learn from it. You can videos such as these
is on there.
Yeah.
Seriously, you want to learn something?
Pinterest. I don't know if you've ever been on Pinterest, but like with Pinterest, like I could swear that I could build a house or something. Like I could just, do anything I needed to do. Like, sure. Yeah. I've got, got the layout here, how to do it. So yeah, it's, it's cool to a certain extent, but, yeah, I don't even know why I brought that up. I forgot.
But we just go off on tangents. And that's okay. That's
exactly.
One thing that I love about this podcast. And there's really I'm aware that people are listening. However, at the same time, it's like you and I are just talking.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. For sure.
And
that is true.
Yes. And I know sometimes I'll say things about one of my kids or something, and I'll go, damn, I probably shouldn't have said that because they would not appreciate mom talking about them like that. Like general things, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
It just is. What do you do? Yeah.
I know. Oh, I know why I brought that up, because I was going to make it funny.
Oh, good.
So in the middle of my lowest that I've ever felt years ago, I just so happened to be looking at like ghost hunters back then. And so
which I'm glad you did, because that's how you found out.
Exactly. So I watched somebody's video, and then it showed these two ladies, and I remember I originally scrolled past, but then something was like, who are they? And so I scrolled back up again, and I was like, let me see what they're talking about real quick. And I remember like the minute, like it was literally just minutes in, I was like, oh, they're real. Like
I assume you're talking about us.
Yeah. Like these two ladies, who are they? right underneath like Sam and Colby's video or something. Who knows? But
Yeah.
I remember I reached out because it was one of those Q&A videos. And
Oh, yeah.
I am not the person to reach out. I don't even communicate on, like, my social medias look like a bot. It really, I don't really, I don't really post, you know what I mean? I don't do a lot of
Yes.
interacting, but something, well, it's not something, Spirit was literally like, if you don't send a question right now to these ladies who are asking for questions, like, I'm not going to get this off your mind. And so I did. And I was like, I can't believe I even just did that. Like, I can't believe I actually hit send.
That is so awesome.
And then, and then you guys replied back. And I just remember from that point on, it was just like, there was no going back. Like, I was not about to let you guys.
And you did it.
Not, yeah. I was like, oh no,
you forced me back into teaching. And you dragged my ass back in. Yes.
And yeah, and so like, yes, I do have a bit of a passive aggressive personality sometimes.
I needed it. Fred was like literally working you to get to me. Yes.
Yeah.
I needed that. I needed it.
It was definitely Fred.
Yes, it was.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, yeah, all that to say that sometimes we don't even realize we're being led by Spirit. And
yes,
you know, sometimes you just need to just allow and do. Don't always overthink everything. Because
who, me?
No. You know, thinking is great, and I am grateful for my brain that is able to still think, but thinking also causes illusions, and someone who is heavy in worlds of illusions already,
a nice way to say that.
You know, I think that I am so grateful that Spirit was like, just do it. Like, gave me the balls at that moment to just write that whatever question I needed answered and send it. Because if I thought about it too much, I really wouldn't have clicked. And you know what I mean? So
grateful.
Spirit talking to us is so soft. And
yes.
Oftentimes we bypass that, and
it's so easy to.
Yeah.
It's so easy to question that, to doubt it, to think that it's just our own thoughts coming in.
Yeah.
But there really is a tug to it that you don't feel. Well, now, with some trauma, like some of my trauma was being impulsive. I had to learn, am I being impulsive here, or is this Spirit sort of once I started paying more attention, it's like it was really clear the difference in them. But sometimes it can be like you thought it was, and at the same time, if it's something that's meant for you, it'll keep coming back around. Like, if you hadn't listened, Spirit would have just kept would have just kept coming up on your feed until you finally did something.
I do believe so. Yeah. Because it goes back into when we're ready to do something, we're gonna keep getting the same coincidences, or you know what I mean? Whatever you want to call it, it's gonna keep coming back. And it's, I am just a firm believer it is Spirit and our higher selves tugging on us. Like, we're very softly letting you know that it's time, you're ready. So we're just gonna keep trying. And so I do believe that if that day it didn't happen, it would have happened.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And we've had, what is it, 2 years now? Over 2 years? Something?
Oh, I don't know. No, I think it's actually going on 3. I think I don't know. What year
we'll have to look that up.
Yeah.
Well, we're just now coming up on 3 years on YouTube, which is pretty exciting. So it's probably about 2.5 for us.
Yeah, I think you're right, because I want to say that it was still a new channel, and
Yes. Us still
but
trying
it was
to
like
figure it out.
it was like the springtime, because I remember like I had watched all your videos up until that point. But I remember it was like around springtime, I think. So maybe like in 25 spring it'll be 3
Yes.
sometime around then.
Yeah.
Something like that. Feels
And
longer.
I know. Well, when you meet someone or you connect with someone who I'm sure, I mean, we've had to have past lives together. We know
Yeah.
we're friends on the other side. We're not just whatevers. You just know it. You feel it. Absolutely. And very blessed. And I do want to say that you are so psychic. And I'm going to spill the beans here. I'm going to say something that don't get it. But I'm waiting for the day that Karissa says, I want to go back on the website to give readings.
Oh, geez. Yeah.
So I'm going to say, she'll come back. You'll do it. And I like with me, I didn't want to go teaching again. It took you dragging my ass in there to do it again. Something like that's going to happen. And your readings are amazing. Absolutely amazing.
I am getting there. I was going, just so you guys all know, I was going through some really difficult stuff the year of 2023, and I really needed to focus on the 3D junk for myself and for my kids. And so I just needed to take that time to heal through it. And we've come a long way.
Yes. And one of the things that I can say about you, which is just beautiful, is that because people come and go through TCS all the time. They go through hard times, and they just dump us all together and they go, and then we don't hear from them again, or maybe we might, but it's a way, whatever. You didn't do that. You stayed in touch.
Yep.
We tried to give you your space, which I think we did, and just like, okay, we're just gonna wait until she comes back, and we're always here. And you did. And you did, which was beautiful because you wanted to keep that spirit connection.
Yeah. And I will say, like,
go through stuff.
Oh yeah. And when you're going through stuff, that's the hardest for me. Like, going through stuff is so hard to even feel like I'm still connected to spirit. But that's just because, we're, like, you get lost because you're worried about the issue.
Yes.
Daily, all day, you're worried about these things and trying to figure it out. And so sometimes it is very hard to hear spirit, feel spirit, even have the will to heal certain things, you know what I mean? Because you're just so lost. And we're speaking very with talking about today, the importance of healing, and when it's time, it's obviously easier said than done. We wanted to just relay some indicators of when you possibly may be ready, compared to digging. Never dig. But it is easier said than done in a lot of cases, because, I can say for one, like, and when I'm talking about, I went through a divorce. I think it's okay to say that. So like, I went through a divorce, and it was a very,
that was rough.
It was rough. Yeah.
It was rough watching it, let alone being in it. Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's times when I was out of my body and I was watching it, so I feel it. Like, I was like, what? We're just not gonna we're just gonna go. We're gonna go out there and view it from down there. Like, dissociate for a second, jump out of our body, not deal. So yeah, so I understand that sometimes it's hard to even feel anything except for what you're going through.
Yes. But
just know that we are so loved. Spirit is truly with us and here with us. And they are allowing us to live our journeys the way that we're supposed to. And it's not until we decide to ask for help and seek help in whatever way that looks is when, we're going to make that connection to do that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you did it. Yeah.
I did. I can be proud of it. I'm not going to be shy, like, oh, stop. No, I did freaking do it, and I'm so happy.
Yes.
And it's a beautiful thing.
It's such a
Great.
beautiful thing. Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm wondering if you feel like this is a place to wrap up, or do you have more to talk about?
Yeah, I think this is a good place
Is it?
to wrap up.
I just sort of felt like there was like a full circle or something there. I don't know what that meant.
Yeah,
It felt like
it was a full circle. Yeah, I
one
felt
of
that
those.
too.
Yeah.
Yep, one of
Okay.
those.
All right. Well, that felt like a period at the end of that sentence.
Yeah.
Like we're done.
Yeah. Yep, I agree.
Thank you everyone so much for tuning in. Thank you, Karissa. I love having you here.
Thank you as well.
We have to do this more
For sure.
often. Yes. You'll also see Karissa on our other channel as well, TCS Everyday Psychics.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, is our email or what's that thing called? The website.
Oh, okay.
Words.
Yes, that.
My words. TCSEverydayPsychics.com. If you want to know more about us or reach out to us, whatever you need, we're here for you. All your spiritual needs. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yes. So,
For sure.
all right. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks,
Bye.
everybody.